Hello everyone. First of all, before I do this video, I want to thank each and every one of you for your feedback about what you would like for me to do on my channel to help you. And so I have made my promise and I'm going to deliver to you that I will make this from here on about you, but there's going to be times that if there's, depending upon the subject matter, and especially what I'll do is that I will, in some videos, depending upon what I'm talking about, would use some examples of, like when I'm explaining examples, I might from time to time use my narcissistic family to really illustrate the points that I'm making, but I'm still going to keep that focus on you. So, like I said, I greatly appreciate your feedback. What I do, as I get your requests, I do write them down on a notebook because believe me, I'm getting older and my mind is not as sharp, or like the memory is not sharp. I'm not going to remember every single request. I got a lot of lost subscribers here, and it's going to be impossible for me to really remember everything that everyone's requested. So to really ensure that I do a video that you request for me to do, I do write it in my notebook pad. I just write down the subject matter as it comes to me. So, I ask that you, please bear with me. I will get the video out to you as soon as I possibly can, depending upon my work schedule. There's days that I'm really busy, and there's some days that I'm not as busy, so my schedule can be crazy, but I will get them out there, and all that I ask is that you please bear with me. Please be patient. I will answer to your suggestions, and I will do a video on what you suggest. Some of them I might combine together and go in great deeper depth, and then some of them I might just do individuals. It just depends upon the subject matter. But I really thank you, and I really appreciate your feedback, and I encourage those of you who haven't really write me to do a suggestion, what you'd like for me to do. Take your time. I'm not expecting, anytime soon. But, as you think about things, just let me know, because I want to help you, And many of you have, and what I can tell, what that tells me is that the things that you suggest to me to do and to go in greater, deeper depth is because this is where you're at in this point of your life. That this is the area that you want me to go into deeper depth with is really the area maybe where you're really struggling at, or it's really a good, you're trying to heal and you just want to get a greater, deeper understanding, so that way you can move on furthermore with your recovery. And like I said, I really do appreciate the feedbacks, and I encourage each and every one of you out there to really keep those suggestions coming. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I thank you for subscribing to my channel, and I greatly encourage for you to share my videos any way you'd like. If you know somebody that's going through narcissistic abuse, the same thing that you're going through, please, by all means, I really encourage you to really share my videos, because as much as they've helped you, I know that my videos can help somebody else. So I just encourage you to just share them however which way you like to. And if you like the videos, please hit the like button and let me know. And I greatly appreciate your subscription to my channel. I'm glad that you really enjoy what I put out here. And, like I said, I've been through a lot, and I'm still, still going through some things, but I'm still strong. I'm still, healthy, and, and I'm happier, I really am. So anyway, without further ado, um, I'm going to go about this video. This video is going to be about projection. And projection, I know I have used my narc family on several occasions to really illustrate about projection. So, projection is really, think of it as like a weakness of, say, like your narcissistic mother or siblings, brother or sister, or enabling father. Think of it as their weakness. They're projecting their weaknesses on you to make themselves feel better. And think of it also like it's a jealousy thing. They're jealous of something that you have that they wish that they could have, whether it be not so much looks, but talents, gifts that the good Lord has blessed you with. It could be office skills. Maybe you're good with typing so many words per minute. Maybe you're good with all the applications, like maybe, I don't know, Excel, or data entry skills, or whatever it is that you're talented with. And the narcs in your the narcs that's in your life will sit here and project their weaknesses because they wish they have the talents and the things that you have, but they want to sit there and rain on your parade. It's that jealousy thing to make themselves feel good. It's basically, and I'm basically just explaining this in just really in a broad sense, but I will get to the finer points here about projection. But think of it, I guess I'm trying to get you to gain a perspective of what projection is. They're jealous of you because you got these certain traits that they wish that they have, and they want to sit there and rain on your parade by throwing their weaknesses and their shortcomings on you to make, because they don't feel good about themselves. And believe me, narcs are very, very aware. They're very aware of what their weaknesses are. They know what those weaknesses are, but they lack the common sense and they lack the maturity to admit that they have weaknesses. But anyway, for an example, let's just say you went to college. You worked your tail off, you sacrificed, you didn't party, you didn't hang out, you hung out less with your friends, and, you worked maybe either a part-time, full-time job. Let's just say that, and you still managed to graduate college with honors. Okay, let's just, say that. And let's just say a narc sibling went to college and they were too lazy and they couldn't handle the work that college demanded, because believe me, college workload is very, very demanding. But you hung in there and you succeeded. And let's just say like the narc sibling that went to college and all this stuff, they couldn't handle the workload that college demands, and maybe and didn't make the grade. Maybe lucky if they could hang like a semester or two, and they got minimum and didn't pass. Didn't pass their courses for the semester, and at some point they got kicked out or they ended up quitting because they couldn't handle it. They couldn't hang, but you did. You did. So right there is a weakness that they have, and they went around your parade when you graduated, and they all sit there and say, well, okay, yeah, you graduated with honors, but you you cheated your way through school. You must have slept with the professor to get the good grades that you got. When you know in your own right mind, you know that's not true, but they project that resentment because you stuck it out. You made the sacrifices. You spent sleepless nights studying and doing term papers and, school projects, whatever. You did the work. But the narc, um, couldn't hang and they couldn't handle it. And so they gave up or they flunked themselves out of school. But you stuck it through. So they went around on your parade by saying, well, you slept with the professor to get the good grades you have, or you cheated, And so what do they do? What do the narcs do when they quit college? And, your narc sibling, what do they do when they quit college? They want to take the shortcut and say, well, I can't handle this college. I'm going to go the shortcut. I'm just going to go work for a bank, get some type of entry-level job or something, and then they'll just sit there and step on toes, or they'll first get in good with the boss and maybe even brown nose the boss or sleep with the boss, or people that's got some pull with the boss. They'll go through any lengths and extremes to get moved up in a company, especially if it's a big corporation. Those are tactics that narcs will use. Or they're the ones that cheated their way by sleeping around or whatever, but they want to sit there and say, well, you got the good grades and you got the good job all because you slept your way around, when you know that, like I said, that's not true. So that's one example. And then they'll sit there and say, like, okay, they moved their way up a corporate ladder, did whatever they could, whether if it's stepping on some toes or setting some people up to get them fired, not eliminate the competition. They'll do whatever because they're ruthless. Narcs are ruthless. And then when they get a good paying job, if they manage to even get a good paying job despite these dirty deeds that they've done, then they'll sit there, and sit there and boast about their so-called success because they got a good paying job and they have this and they have that, all because they took shortcuts. So that's one example. Another point that I like to make also, and like I said, before I go into the next point, I really hope that first point that I made, I hope that this example that I used really clarifies and helps you a little bit about what projection really is and the forms of projection. So that was this one form, the jealousy concept. Another one is another point or another perspective, or I guess you could say, or another angle of projection would be when a narc says that you contradict yourself, all because you expose the truth about them. This is another tactic that they like to use, or they just do that, So a great example of this would just be saying that, say like you had a narc sister or brother, or let's just say whoever the golden child that was designated by your narc mother or father or both. Let's just say whoever the golden child was designated in your family. Say that they have a big house and they have this and they have that. the golden, because that's why they're golden child. Because they got something that the narc parent can use, right? But anyway, let's just say that, um, oh, let's just say that they make this claim to you and saying that, well, your name never comes across their kitchen table when you have the golden child narc and then the rest of the family narcs put together along with the narc mom, and they sit there and they gossip about you. And even though maybe you're either still at contact with your narc mother or not, they sit there and well, let's just say for this example being, let's just say that you're still in contact with your narc mother or low contact or whatever. And then you get, some type of confrontation with the golden child sibling of yours, and they sit there and they claim that oh, well, your name never comes across their kitchen table when they talk, when they get together, and the narc mother is the one staying in contact with you and getting all buddy with you and saying she loves you and she misses you, so you come around and all this stuff, when really the real motive is that narc mother wants to get all the information that she possibly can, so that way when she gets with the rest of the narc siblings of yours, like on a weekend or something, and then a narc mother will sit there and give them all the information to all the siblings around and anybody else. And they'll sit there and tell about your business. Maybe if you have a fiance or a husband or boyfriend, say something about his business too. And the reason why they do that is because they're trying to build any type of case, or maybe not so much a case, but to sit there and I guess they're finding ways and trying to create angles to find ways to destroy you. But they sit here and they claim, oh, well, your name never comes across their kitchen table, when really it does. Because how else are they knowing about your business? Through your narc mother. Your narc mother is the one that's sitting there telling them all your business and putting your business out there like that. So that there, is another example. I mean, they sit there, they scheme, and they try to find any means possible. And that's why I say at some point, that's where you need to cut the contact off with your narc mother. But I'm just using this example as if you were still in contact with your narc mother, but then your sisters kind of cut you out of their lives and live their lives like you don't exist. But then they sit here and they say, well, your name don't come across our kitchen table. Oh, really? But then they know your business, especially your current business. They'll know, they'll know all about your current business. What you're doing and how you're sustaining yourself and all this stuff, and they'll find everything that they can, because you know what? They don't want you to go anywhere. They want you to be a frigging bum. They want you to sit there and live under a bridge while they live all high and mighty. So that's why they do these little get-togethers. Trust me. That's happened in my narc family. And so, yeah. So that's another thing, how they sit there and contradict themselves. They'll sit there and say that they're not doing what they say they're doing, and really they are. And another thing is that if they didn't really care about how you're living your life, if they really didn't care, then they would have had the common sense to sit here and tell your narcissistic mother, hey, I don't want to hear this person's name, meaning you, saying, oh, I don't want to hear this person's name being mentioned in this house. I don't care what they do. But it's obviously that they do, because they know your current business. So that there is how they contradict themselves, but they want to sit there and say that you're contradicting yourself when you're, all because you're exposing the truth about the narcissist in your life. Your sister, your siblings, brothers, sisters, mother, father, whatever. So, that there is really another example, of when a narcissist projects this thing that you're contradicting yourself. And then a third one is the third point that these narcs love to use. And I'm going to use my narc family as an example for this. But they love to use this word accountability. And that's such a big word for them. They actually know what accountability. They just love to use the word accountability on you. And what accountability is, it's just basically, if you want to look at it as different rules for different people, or flat out more like they love to dish out your mistakes that you've made, or their so-called truths about you. But then, when you dish out the truths about them, oh, they can't take it. It's like, really, they can dish out stuff out about you. Whatever it's past mistakes, current mistakes, whatever. They like to do that. They'll sit there and dish out it, but then when you sit there and tell the truth about them, it's like, kind of like, how you turn the tables at them. Oh, they don't like it. Or here's one that my ex-husband used to always say all the time. It's like, when you point the finger at somebody, you got several more pointed right back at you. And I remember a former pastor of mine had once said in Bible study one time, he basically said, you better make sure that your house is clean and in order before you sit out there and go judge somebody else's house. And believe me, I'm sure that your narc family's like this. I'm sure many of you can relate to this, because definitely, my narc family, I think they're the ultimate definition of accountability, because they like to dish it out, but they don't like to get it dished back to them. They don't want to get dished back out to them what was dished back out to you. They don't like it. Which really shows that they lack the common sense that they get hurt that badly, or they feel so hurt about it. Wouldn't it be common sense, like, shut the hell up? If you can't sit there and not even take the time to make sure your stuff's in order before you sit there and point fingers at somebody, that's just the common sense they lack, And I'm just speaking in general. But anyway, dishing something out, and then they simply can't take it. And like I said, my narc family is no exception here. So anyway, I may and I'll just use some examples here. Let's just say you have a sibling. Let's just say you have a sister that's overweight. I mean, way overweight. Maybe have a ass like a bus, but I want to sit there and look at you and tell you need to lose weight. That's accountability. That's one example of accountability. It's like, they don't want to look at themselves, but they want to sit there and look at you and say, well, you need to do this and you need to do that. So that's one example. Another example would be, and I'm going to kind of like use this Uh, let's just say if you had, say, like a golden child sister, and you somehow, someway found through the grapevine that, you know, she was once a stripper, and then you try being a stripper, and what does she say about you? You're the biggest whore of the family. Let alone that your golden child sister had stripped, but don't sit there and say that, oh, it's okay for her. She's not the whore, but oh, buddy, you do it. Oh, you're the biggest whore in town. And so, this third example, I really want to use, you know, um, and this is going to be, I'm going to use myself as an example here, because it really, really amplifies, this, you know, um, finger pointing. And this example is, and this sister of mine, and it's not the golden child sister, but this one was the one that I've called her a loudmouth lard butt, and I call her lard butt, and she was the one that um, took care of my late father's affairs, even when he was alive, and even now that he's, passed away, taking care of his so-called legal affairs and all this. So, really, she's married. She has a son, I think that's like what, 7 or 8 years old, and she also has a daughter, um, which is she's pretty much raised and grown up and on her own, and but she still has a son at 7 or 8 years old. She's married, and you know, but she wants to sit there and criticize me as a mother to my own kids, to my own daughters. And I believe I have even discussed to you the circumstances with my youngest daughter. I know I mentioned that in a few recent videos that I've discussed, but I'm not going to go into that. But if you really want to know the details, you can um, see it in a video. It's one of my recent ones. Um, I think it was something about the closure of coming to my closure of narcissism. I believe it's in that video. But anyway, yeah, she wants to criticize my lard butt sister wants to sit here and criticize me being a mother and saying that I endorsed and pawned all my responsibilities on my parents or on our parents. And like I said, I've explained this, the circumstances, especially with my youngest daughter. And my oldest daughter, she's pretty much on her own anyway. So, but the more I think about this, it's becoming more and more crystal clear to me of how my nosy, loudmouth, lard butt sister, or let me just call her right now just loudmouth, because she has a big mouth. And the more I think about it, the more crystal clear it becomes to me, because I'm always wondering, well, how come she's got all this time to sit here and stick her nose where it doesn't belong? How does she manage to have all this time to sit here and constantly call my mother? And I'm just talking, I'm clarifying this here. This is way long before I even went no contact with my mother for the second time and for good. But when I was still visiting my mother, and there were times, even during the week, sometimes during the week, that I would come see my mother, or my mom wanted my fiance to do something for her in the house or something, something, and it would be like, let's say during the week. And lo and behold, my loudmouth sister would call, Because the reason why I know it's her is because all I gotta do is look at the caller ID. She works for a bank, and the bank's name will flash. I was like, oh, that's her. And I'm sitting here just rolling my eyes. I'm like, doesn't this person ever have a life? And second of all, I'm sitting here thinking, well, does she have a job to do? She's basically using company phone on company time, and I'm quite surprised she still has a job. Because I used to work for a bank. I used to work for 3 banks. And no matter what position you hold there, you are not allowed to use company time. Wanting to check up on your mother or whatever it is that she felt was so important. Like I said, I used to work for a bank, and banks are very, very strict about this. Because the only time that you can really use a company phone is really an extreme emergency, or like if you get a call from home, that you could take. The only time you can take personal calls, is on extreme emergencies. And as far as cell phones is concerned, you're not allowed to even use your cell phone during company time. Unless if you're out at lunch or something, as long as you're not at your desk eating lunch. But if you're out, like at a cafeteria or at a restaurant somewhere on your lunch hour and on your cell phone, okay, yeah, that's different. But while on company time and you're on company premises, I know you're not allowed to use a cell phone. And somehow, some way, like I said, she uses either her cell phone or most of the time company phone. But anyway, but that's how I figured out how she's having all this time to sit there and call my mother, and want to know what she's up to. And she uses this excuse about being concerned or checking up on mom, when really her true motive is she wants to know who's there. Who's there, and what my mom is doing, what she's up to. Really, is that a real emergency? So, anyway, let's see here. And like I said, I wonder if her boss even knows about this. But anyway, she would call my mother an average of 10 or more times in a day. And even in the evening. So here, even in the evening and she's home, my narc sister, Loudmouth, is home. She has a husband. She's got a 7, 8-year-old kid to take care of. What does she do? She obviously neglects her responsibilities as a wife and her responsibilities as a mother, and endorses it all to the daddy, so she can sit here and run her mouth and stick her nose where it don't belong and sit there and call mom and still want to know what everybody else is doing. Want to know what everybody else is doing. Want to know my mom's business and where she's going and all this mess. But then she wants to sit here and talk about me, endorsing my responsibility, or pawning off my kids off to my parents. But she gonna sit there and pawn off all her responsibility to the baby's dad, even though, hey, she's his kid's mother. When husband and wife have a kid together, responsibility is supposed to be equal. So, she has the audacity to sit there and say that, I'm a bad mother when really she's the bad mother. She's sitting here endorsing all her responsibilities. She's not taking care of her business, or she just puts it off to the side when really that's something that should be always be a priority, you know? And it's no wonder why her son is such a loose cannon and an unruly kid. It's because she don't spend time with her son. And that time that she's sticking her nose where it doesn't belong, by sitting there feeling like she's got to call my mom 10, 20 times in a day, that time, especially when she's home, that time should be utilized spending time with your child. This is time, this is where she should be spending time with her son. That should be the first thing she should do when she gets home. See, she don't have no common sense, but wants to hear her and chastise me. You know. But my children are not unruly. But she has a son, like I said, that's unruly and a loose cannon. And then she wonders why she can't control her kid. It's because that kid wants attention. The kid needs to spend some time with your child. So anyway, that's another example, about accountability. So I hope um, um, that this helps you about projection. Like I said, the jealousy perspective. Then you've got the what they call the accountability perspective. They want to dish it out, but they don't want to get that dish back and they can't handle it. And then the other perspective is it's like when a narc says that you contradict yourself. So that's the third one, and then those examples. So I really, really hope that that this goes into really good, deeper depth of what projection really, really is. And excuse me, my nose is itching like crazy, and I don't know why it just does. But anyway, yes, that I'm really hoping that my examples and what I've explained here really, really answers. I don't want to say answers, but I'm hoping that this really further explains what projection really is, because this is really, really some deep, deep stuff. And I'm hoping with the examples that I used here, that I'm hoping that it's not just help you, the viewer that wanted me to do this particular video, but anybody. This video is for everybody, not just for the viewer that suggested it, but for anybody practically. So I really hope that this video really, really helps. So the next video I'll be doing, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Like I said, I have my list here, and as they come in, I do write them down. So I will be doing another one, I'd say within the next couple of days. Probably say maybe within 2 to 3 days I'll do my next video. The other one I believe I'll probably would do the one about religion. The one with religion and gaslighting. I don't know if I'm going to do those together or if I'm going to do those separately. I haven't really decided yet, but it's going to be about those subjects that the next viewer had submitted to me that would like to have more clarification or more help upon. So I think on the next particular video, I'm going to have to ask a lot of prayer from God and give me some wisdom to go into great deeper depth, because especially religion is really, really deep, and I have a very good relationship with God. So like I said, without Him, I would have not progressed as fast in my recovery, as well as finding the closure. So without God, I'm nothing. So anyway, stay tuned. for the next video. Like I said, I'm not sure if I want to do them both at the same time or do them separately. I don't know yet. I have to really, like I said, sit down and really write things down, and I'll know for sure if I can combine it all in the same video or not. But anyway, like I said before at the beginning of the video, to please share my videos however way you like to, and like them as well, and even share my videos to people that you know are going through the same thing that you're going through, because if they've helped you, you know if they really helped you, then hey, spread the word around and help others that you love and that you greatly care about. So anyway, um, thank you so much. I encourage each and every one of you. I can't emphasize enough to continue to submit to me your suggestions, if you will. Send me a private message or email, or give me a private message on Facebook. I am on Facebook. Like I said, just look me up as Mama Bunny Allen, and that's on Facebook. Or my email address is Mary Allen 7079 at yahoo.com. Or you can just do me a private message to here on YouTube. So this is Mary Allen, and like I said, I really hope that this video has really helped you, and all of you, the rest of you. I really hope that it really clarifies even more and more about what projection is. So this is Mary Allen signing off, and stay tuned for the next video within the next couple of days. I wish you peace as always, and I love you all, because without you I wouldn't have this channel, and I really love helping each and every one of you. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.